Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Lily Arguello. I am the Director of Membership with PIHRA. And again, I want to welcome you to the August 2022 member orientation. I try to be as engaging and informative as possible. We're going to spend the next 60 minutes together, may or may not take that amount of time. And I want to encourage you all to ask questions, start networking right away, put in your LinkedIn URL. I have some colleagues with me today and a special guest who I'll be introducing in a moment, but just want to encourage you to start chatting with each other, chat with us, ask questions. The next 60 minutes is about you. I want to make sure that you get your answers, the answers to your questions. So also, just so you know, again, feel free to take notes, but the slides will be distributed within an hour after the webinar ends. And so a lot of the things on the slides you'll get, but again, feel free to take notes as well. Again, please engage us, ask questions. We have a small group. I suspect it's because a lot of people are on vacation or just really busy with work or back to school season like I am. So that's fine. We are recording this, correct? We're recording this, at least that's wonderful. And so the recording will be available to you on our YouTube channel early next week. Hopefully it's a good quality. I have been having trouble with my Wi-Fi, but hopefully that's not gonna come into play here. So let's get started. Let's see if I can forward the slides. All right, so here's our agenda for the next 60 minutes. I'm in the welcome portion, and I'm going to give a general update. I've been doing this general update since March 2020 because things have changed, and we're adapting to it. And I think PIHRA is doing a really good job at that. So I'll give you a little bit of an update on what's going on with respect to our chapters and our webinars and in-person meetings. Then we're going to do a poll. Like I said, I want you all to leave this webinar with the answers to the questions that you have. If I cannot answer the question live or in the chat, I promise you that I'm going to go explore some responses to your questions and investigate that and get back to you as soon as possible. Also, if the question you have may be a separate conversation, I'd be delighted to schedule time with you to answer those questions and have a little chat about that, because sometimes your questions are really unique to you, and I'd be happy to do that with you as well. And then I'm going to give you a more formal introduction of my team, myself, my membership team, and then our special guest who you see here on video already, but he's being nice and muting himself for now. But really excited to have Rafael Rivera, the CEO of PIHRA, with us today. This is the first time he's joined me. So, and he's also my boss. So, Rafael, I'm on my best behavior. Not really, but well, then we'll go over to a PIHRA overview. So just give you a sense of PIHRA, our board, and how long we've existed and things of that sort. Get into a conversation about our member benefits, and then move into the professional development that PIHRA provides. And then we'll just wrap it up to answer any last questions and make sure that everything's covered here. So I do see some things in the chat. I'm just going to pause for a second. Oh, good. Great. I'm so happy to see that you're networking already. I think that's one of the richest things that PIHRA has to offer. So wonderful, wonderful. So here we are at the general update. And if you see me pausing, it's because my cursor is all over the place. But since March 2020, the PIHRA team, the board, Rafael here, we have made the health and safety of our community our top priority. So that meant that we went totally virtual for a while there. And but since June of 2021, we started encouraging our chapters to start hosting in-person meetings. So we started off with socials, and now this year, several of our chapters are having in-person meetings on a monthly basis. Some are having meetings every other month. So at the end of this presentation, I'm going to be sharing some actual meetings and the dates of these meetings so that you could put it on your calendar. I want you to, I know for me, it's sometimes hard to get out, particularly after the pandemic. It's, you know, I'm working remotely, so I'm home all the time. So I just want to encourage you to set a goal for yourself to attend at least one professional development or professional networking event between now and, let's say, October, because it's really important that you get out there and that we support each other. And to keep updated on all of the events that we have, webinars, chats, in-person meetings, just visit the PIHRA calendar frequently. You know, for me, we provide the most affordable, accessible, and actionable professional development in California. So just keep up with that. It's a great benefit that we offer. All right, let's keep going here. Now we're gonna do a quick poll, and I'm gonna ask Elisette, who's also here on video, to launch the poll. Want to make sure that your questions get answered. So I'm going to give you like 60 seconds to reply, and I'm going to take notes, and we'll show you what the responses are at the end. All right, 2 of you have replied. Come on, let's get full engagement here. All right, want to hear about seminars and conferences. Great. PIHRA certification, networking, chapters, monthly meetings. Let's give it another 15 seconds, at least that, and we could end the poll and show the results. Okay. All right, here are the results. So you want to hear about networking opportunities, seminars and conferences, and then a little bit about the other items here, which I've noted on my no volunteering with PIHRA, no PIHRA and SHRM. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to stop sharing and I will share the results. Oh, I already did show this. Okay, so you see what you all want to hear about. We're going to get to a lot of that. So what I heard is that a lot of you want to know about our upcoming seminars and conferences, and that's fantastic because I got Rafael here who does a lot of the work curating the sessions for that. So let's keep moving. With introductions. So I'm here in the middle. My name is Lily Arguello, and I have an MBA in early 2021. I passed the SHRM-SCP exam, so I'd be happy to share my experience with that. Rafael also has his HR certification, so we could spend a little time answering questions that about that, because that's really important to us, and want to make sure that our community has the information they need to take that first step. And we offer preparation courses. I think we have one of the most, the greatest HR certification instructors around. So, and then quickly, I have an organizational development background, and then went into working in the nonprofit association field. And I came to PIHRA from the Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles, doing membership more on the partnership building side. And actually, Rafael found me on LinkedIn. So I want to encourage you all to have a really fantastic LinkedIn profile and get out there and volunteer, because that's how I got this job with PIHRA. And if you're curious more about that, I could share that with you. Just before I have Elisette introduce herself, I also want to introduce Matt Hallett. He is the chair of the membership committee on the PIHRA board and is my liaison with the board. He's very accessible, a great connector. I enjoy working with him. And I also want to just plug that PIHRA, while PIHRA has a staff, we're primarily volunteer-led. So volunteering, no one asked about volunteering in the poll, but volunteering is a great way to gain visibility in the HR community and the leadership skills that are really going to help you get ahead. So please consider volunteering. I like to talk about volunteering because I think it's like volunteering is networking on steroids because people get to know you. So we could talk a little bit more about that as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to mute myself so Elisette can unmute herself and introduce herself a bit.
Thank you, Lily. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and spending your lunchtime with us today. As you can see, my name is Elisette Sapien. I'm on the my right side of the slide. I am the membership coordinator here at PIHRA, and I've been with PIHRA serving the HR community for 5 years, I think now, and going on 6 this fall, if I'm not mistaken. I have a background in journalism and public relations, and I also may be the first person you speak to if you dial the main number. I think a few of you, your names seem familiar to me already, so feel free to reach out to me and Lily, also Matt. We're all very accessible, and if you have any questions after or in the next few months regarding your membership, accessing your benefits, and any other things that you may need. So thank you, Lily.
Thank you, Elisette. Elisette is my right hand. It is my expectation that me and my team get back to your phone calls and emails within 24 hours. So our contact information is on the screen. You know, it brings joy to my life to helping our members and making sure that you get to where you want to be in your career and be successful, and that also that you help your organizations be successful. So that's what I really love working with PIHRA. And the other reason I really love working with PIHRA is Rafael Rivera, who I'm going to ask to unmute so that he can say hello and introduce himself.
Hello, and thank you for having me today. I think Lily was right. This might be my first virtual membership meeting, and the last one that I may have jumped into was it last year when we finally got back together for a hybrid CELU? I think you were leading a session inside that room.
Yes. I know you've been in some in-person sessions of mine, but this seems different for some reason. So I'm really excited to have you.
Well, and I'm happy to meet new members or existing members that are just trying to get additional information. And some of you are interested in networking and events, in reconnecting in person. As an organization, we've made a commitment to, through COVID, to have virtual events, which we're now transitioned to hybrid events. So every association-wide event, meaning those that are put on by headquarters, will be a hybrid event in the future. Whether you're attending Real HR, the California Employment Law Update, or the California HR Conference, we're going to bring those events to you. Of course, we'd love to see you in person, but sometimes geography or a new COVID variant will keep some of us at home. I know I don't want to say it, but it's true. It's one of the things that we have to contend with right now. I am and have been traveling to our chapters as they have been reopening since last fall. Actually, the first one's opened last summer, and some are just now reopening for those continuing education or social activities. So you should see me out and about. I know I've been to PIHRA South OC, PIHRA North OC. I was out in Pasadena for a joint event between PIHRA Burbank Glendale and PIHRA Pasadena. So more events to come, and of course check our calendar, and we have a list of activities for you to consider. Now, when Lily talked about connecting, and I do encourage you to connect not only with us, but with each other, because you can and should convert those LinkedIn connections you've made over the past 2 years into real, live, friendships, or at least, exchanges where in the future you may need somebody that has that level of expertise to talk to. And I'll say LinkedIn seems to be the #1 way members want to communicate with me. When you have a question about membership, or you have a question about one of our programs, you seem to ask me on LinkedIn, and that's fine. I am me on LinkedIn, so I'll be the person responding either early in the morning or late in the evening to any of your questions and comments. So love to hear from you. For those of you that were interested in certification, because you're not certified, I think I got certified in 2014. It's been a minute, but I do recall that I sat for Cert Prep with 23 PIHRA members led by some of our great trainers. And of course, I was afraid that what happens if I don't pass, because I am the CEO of this organization and I am sitting with peers. So thankfully I passed my first time around, the SPHR, and then the SHRM-SCP. So if you have any questions, ask me about those. Lily just recently got certified, so she might have the most current experience with testing and our Cert Prep activities.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
What else can I share, Lily? What do you think?
Well, I'm going to share, I'm going to toot your horn, because I usually do. Again, I'm super excited that you're here with us today, but I want to credit, Rafael has a pretty extensive background in working with associations and also on the marketing side. As you can see, I don't think I even put all of your certifications up on this slide. He is a certified association executive. He is a certified event planner. Is that correct? And so
I had to let that lapse so that I could fit in my business card. I was like, okay. They're like, you got too many certifications. I'm like, okay, I have to stop now.
Maybe not as much as Richard Dawson. He's another one who is our fantastic HR certification instructor. I will talk about certifications because we do have cert classes, but I just want you all to know that Rafael, how long have you been with PIHRA? 10, 11 years? I've been 8 years now, which is wow.
2010. So that's, I haven't changed. I look
11.
just exactly the same.
Yeah, gorgeous. We're all pretty gorgeous. But I credit Rafael for taking PIHRA to the next level. He took the PIHRA annual conference, and I'm getting ahead of myself. He took the PIHRA annual conference to the next level, rebranding it to the California HR conference. He took the PIHRA legal update, rebranded that to the California employment law update. And these are conferences that we're going to talk a little bit more about later on. I'm going to hurry up to get to those places, but he just took it to the next level and also built a fantastic team. 2019 was a fantastic year. Then the pandemic hit. So,
darn pandemic is really just, it ruined our wonderful streak of over a decade of success and growth.
We were just fantastic. And we're still fantastic. We went remote. And we went totally virtual with the remote team. And because of the Great Resignation, we lost some team members, but we're still here and we're still going. And Rafael, I'm just so happy to be on your team. I'm glad you found me on LinkedIn. Another plug for LinkedIn. Me and Rafael were connected through our volunteer work, actually, I believe, because you were with the National Hispanic, you were working with the National Hispanic engineers?
Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers first, but we connected in National Society of Hispanic MBAs.
That's how, so it was your volunteer work. And so just again, if you want to grow in your career, if you want to make a difference in your community, volunteer, because that's where you're going to get to the next level or find that position that you need at the perfect time. So Rafael, thank you for all you do for PIHRA and the community and for the team. I really appreciate it. that I do that all the time, right? Elisette, this is not just some shameless trying to get brownie points. So,
well,
okay.
thank you, Lily. I appreciate it. And I'm going to highlight two things that for those that are new to the organization, should give you some insight of our values, value, for PIHRA, the organization, and the PIHRA team. One of the things that I'm very proud of in 2020, when COVID, first happened and really, started shutting down, businesses, states, PIHRA made a decision to actually give away its resources for a period of 10 weeks. And we were able to serve over 1,600 HR professionals that had the resources that they needed in order to do their jobs and keep their businesses and employees afloat. And we continue to give back to our communities, because this past year, we offered a free registration for HR professionals that work for nonprofits to our annual conference. And that served, I think it was 145 different Southern California nonprofits, because we're a nonprofit and we know it's been hard over the past 2.5 years. So it's our way of giving back. And that's a type of organization that you have joined. And those are the things that we're going to continue to do.
Which, I landed on. Now we're going to do a brief overview, because I think people really want to hear about the conferences stuff. And we have some really exciting news about the California Employment Law Conference. At least I feel it's exciting.
Yeah,
but,
so
let's talk about greatness, though, real quickly, Rafael. Our mission, like you were saying, we've been really dedicated to this community. And I really love when you talk about inspiring greatness. Can you talk a little bit about that? And
yeah, so I think my personal motto that it took me several years to develop here at PIHRA was to influence greatness in human resources. I don't have all the answers, but through our community of engaged volunteers, and then my network of HR executives, attorneys, speakers, we're trying to give back to our members. We have over 4,000 members, and they serve close to 2 million employees. So we are bringing you the resources that you need in order to be successful at work and personally successful in your career path. So those are the things that we stand behind.
Thank you, Rafael. Now, did I cut you off? Did you want to add something else? I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Okay, well, this is where I also like to say that we are a SHRM affiliate. We are the largest SHRM affiliate in the United States, and I will bet money that we are the largest SHRM affiliate in the world. But they won't confirm that for me. I think I can confirm in the reports we get that we're the largest in the country. And we were established in 1944, just for you history buffs, and by a group of personnel managers back then. And they got together in downtown Los Angeles to discuss the future of personnel, or industrial relations, as it was called then. And they wanted to talk about what are the skills and competencies that people needed to be successful in organizations. And they were our pioneers. So we're over 75 years old. Gosh, we're going to be 80 soon. Yikes. So we are here to make sure that you get the content and the programming that you need, and the networking opportunities that you need. And we're going to talk about that as we move forward. One of the, like I said, I want to talk about volunteerism and just highlight Tara Fournier here. She is the president of the PIHRA board this year, and I think for next year as well. I always forget, we're on different years. So
no, but she's up for re-election, so it's a campaign year.
It's a campaign year, yeah. But Tara has been our president for the last 2-3 years. She's fantastic. She's also connected with SHRM. She has extensive background in HR management, HR strategy, and she is the current global head of human resources at Amobi. She has been instrumental at helping also take our conferences and legal updates to the next level. So I'm really excited to be working with her, and she's assisting us with our vision for the future. And you already met Rafael. This is where I usually talk you up, Rafael. So again, huge thanks to Rafael. And again, another plug for volunteering. We can't do this without our volunteers. Right now, how many people are on our team? I think we have 6 full-time staff and then some contractors. Is that right?
Yeah, we have 18 members. We do have 3 vacancies that at some point we need to start filling.
I'm not going to bring that up because I would be nice to you. And then just really quickly, who are PIHRA members? Well, right now, this is a little outdated. Our membership has declined, but I'm really enthusiastic about it growing again. So right now, we're right around 3,900 members, just because of the pandemic. And I think that people have either moved out of town or moved companies. So we're re-engaging these folks. But what's pretty consistent is that right around, I believe it is 40% of our members are at the manager generalist level, 26% are at the HR director and above level. We have 5% of our membership is what I call service providers. Those are natural partners to the HR community, the insurance brokers, the staffing folks, the financial retirement advisors. And I just want to encourage you not to be too fearful from them. Those that are in our community are here to build relationships, and they're great connectors. So if you are looking for that next best HR career, check out one of our HR service providers. They are usually the first person to know about that HR director position. So don't fear them. Most of them are not sales oriented, they're more relationships oriented, and a lot of them volunteer for us. Another important figure here is right around 37% of our members are HR certified. So we will get to the certification piece in a moment. But if you have any questions about our member demographics, let me know, and I can get back to that. Oh, there's Sunny. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to move to, and I see a question or something in the chat if you guys want to address that. Elisa, can you?
There's no question. I just wanted to encourage our attendees to ask us questions or comments via the chat or Q&A box if they have any. We can stop from time to time to answer them.
Oh, great. Yes, please. Yes, please ask questions because I can go on and on. What you see on the slide right now is a graphic of our footprint. So we have 17 chapters in 4 communities. We go as far north as the Antelope Valley, as far as Ventura County and Santa Clarita. We go as far west as the beach with PIHRA West Los Angeles and South Bay, and as far east as PIHRA Coachella Valley. They usually meet out of Desert Hot Springs. Yeah. Woodhaven Country Club out there. I'm actually going out there in November for an event, so I'm really excited about that. Our largest chapter is PIHRA South OC. They're meeting out of Andres in Irvine now. So please know that because of the pandemic, a lot of our chapters have had to shift their venue. So if you are coming back from haven't been around since 2020 or 2019, please check out the calendar to see where they're meeting. If you have any questions, let me know. But one thing I like to highlight here is that our chapters are 100, like Rafael put in the chat, they're 100% volunteer led. So this is a great place to get started with your volunteerism with PIHRA, and just period. If you haven't volunteered, I had great mentors in my career that said, volunteer, that's how you build your leadership skills. And if you have a great boss like I do, they're going to be looking at that. They're going to be watching you. What are you doing in your extra time? Are you building those skills that they feel they need in their organization? Because sometimes organizations may not be able to provide that, or just don't have that. So I want to encourage you to build that on your own. Take responsibility for your own career. This is a great, very low risk place to build those skills, because I got to tell you, I think what sets us apart is our community. We're definitely a family. Also want you to know that you pick your preferred chapter, but you can go to any chapter event as a member or non-member. Members get the better rate. But you say, for example, you live, like, for example, I live near downtown LA, but we used to work near South Bay. So you could attend a South Bay meeting. They usually meet out of Manhattan Beach or Hawthorne area, right around there on the border. You can go to those morning meetings or go to the Los Angeles social in the evening. So any questions about our chapters?
Yes, we have a question from Angelina regarding PIHRA Woodland Hills. Did they used to meet in the country club? And if they are they still meeting? She was thinking about volunteering.
Well, thank you, Angelina. PIHRA Woodland Hills, I'm actually working with them to do an event in Thousand Oaks in September. They're one of our chapters that is having struggles finding a new venue. A lot of the hospitality industry, the prices have gone up. I know Rafael's been having to deal with some of that, but I know that they are trying to start meeting soon. Ventura County, which is the next one over, is scheduling a meeting in September at Sinestra Hotel in Camarillo. But Rafael, did you?
I think that's September 14th or 15th, because I'm going to go to that one, but I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Yeah, that's coming up. And then the event with Woodland Hills. So Angelina, I'd love to introduce you. I'm going to make myself a note, but if I have your permission, just email me later. I would love to introduce you to Woodland Hills. I think they are looking for volunteers, particularly on the membership side, which you would be able to work with me, which we always have fun. So I'd love to introduce you to them so you can get to know them and invite you to my event on September 28th, which is going to include the PIHRA Woodland Hills, some of the PIHRA Woodland Hills board members. So great question. I'm going to keep going. Let's see if I can move forward. Anything that you think I'm missing on this slide, Elisette or Rafael, that you want to add?
I would remind all members that you can go to any chapter event. So if there's a continuing education or social activity that's not in your local chapter, you're welcome to go visit another chapter, and you're always going to get the member rate.
Yeah, what I would add is that, register online for the member rate. If you go to a chapter event where it's not your preferred chapter, usually they'll give you the member rate if you register on site, but they may not have you on their roster. So it's always easier and less stressful if you register online. I see something. Okay, great. You put the link in for September 15th. Fantastic. So let me keep moving here. We have 4 specialty groups or communities. One is in North San Diego County, which if you have any questions about North San Diego County, let us know. We also have the PIHRA Foundation. They're a separate 501c3, and they exist to raise funds to provide scholarships. And they, in the past, have also served the community in doing mock interviews for high school students or college students, and have actually published some booklets about, one was called You and Your First Job or You and Your Next Job. So they've done some great work. They're looking for volunteers as well. I think, the pandemic has really had forced people to regroup. So a lot of our chapters may be looking for volunteers. So let us know if you're interested in any of these opportunities. And they usually provide a scholarship, and there's 2 scholarship windows, one in the spring and one in the fall. The fall one will open up in the September-October timeframe. And those scholarships are for if you are, for example, pursuing, or someone because you do not have to be a PIHRA member actually, if they are pursuing an HR degree or their HR certification, these are the types of scholarships that they provide. We also have Club PIHRA. I call them the fun side of PIHRA, and they used to, under normal circumstances, or not quite normal circumstances right now, they would meet quarterly, and they really exist to help the HR professional that is responsible for the community summer picnic or employee recognition events or the Christmas party. And they always have great events. Like they had an event at Magic Mountain there's usually a vendor fair. So you could meet event solution companies, venue representatives, and things of that sort. They have a meal, and they also used to do professional development. And if they held it at Magic Mountain, the price included getting into Magic Mountain afterwards. So I always love going to those meetings. I see something in the chat. Is there something I should pause for? No?
Yes, it's not a question, but Bridget typed in the chat that she's interested in volunteering, and her chapter would be South Bay or West LA. So if you're interested, Bridget, we can make an introduction for you. Just let us know.
That sounds great, Bridget. I love that.
I'll jump in to give PIHRA South Bay a shout out. I moved from the South Bay down to OC a few years ago. In PIHRA South Bay, they got it going on. They have in-person events 1 month, and then they go virtual the next. Plus, they're doing social. So I believe they're fully back online.
I agree. They're one of it's primarily volunteer led. They have some great leaders and former PIHRA presidents coming out of that chapter. One of the best, better run chapters that I know. So great group. West LA needs you too. I'm actually having a conversation with PIHRA West LA because they want to kind of regroup and refresh. I was raised in the West LA area, so I've always wanted to push that group. But we're dealing with over 4,000 members, so I'm really excited to be speaking to them because I want to encourage them to do some event for emerging leaders, which is a group that I want to talk to you about briefly. This group also has a volunteer board. They're looking for some leadership as well, right, Rafael? And I'm really thinking about working with the PIHRA West LA group to maybe do some fun emerging leader students / emerging leader event this year before the end of the year. This is a real important group for a lot of different reasons for our association, but also, as a Gen Xer, I always love working with younger folks. Elisette is great. She's younger generation than I am, and I really love hearing her ideas and getting her input. And so not only is it important because of that, but you are the largest, that community is the largest individual in the workforce right now. So we want to make sure that you have the skills and the connections that you need to get to where you want to be in your HR career. So I'm also proud of this group because we established PIHRA, it was called PIHRA Young Professionals in 2015 as a brand new group. And we had some great events, and the group took that and ran with it. And now they are on our board as ad hoc committee. And for the work we did in 2015, we won the SHRM Pinnacle Award, which I'm really proud of. So any questions, if you want to get involved with emerging leaders, Rafael and I can connect you with them. We're having some conversations with them soon. So I see something in the chat. I'm going to keep going though, because I want to talk about benefits. Anything we should say live here? Okay. I'm going to move through this rather quickly, but just know I'm always available for a conversation. Email me. I'm really good with email. Usually I respond within the hour, definitely within 24 hours. I want to make sure if you become a member that you have access to these benefits. First and foremost, I think I've said this over and over again today, our community is a fantastic community. This is where you're going to build your personal HR board of advisors. So the people that you can call on if, for example, you're doing a real sensitive HR investigation and you've never done this or it's something tricky, PIHRA is going to be the place where you're going to meet the person who's done this before and you can call them. One of our former volunteer leaders would call them the HR Fab Five. They're sending the HR Fab Five is those people that you're going to have on your speed dial so that when something comes across your desk and you're like, oh gosh, how do I deal with this? You can call them. You know, as an organizational development consultant, I saw how difficult the HR profession was and how lonely it could be. Because sometimes you really don't have anyone else on your HR team that you can confide in. They're all busy doing something else, or sometimes you're the HR department of one. So I can't emphasize enough, get out there, meet some of our members. I love our members. I love my job. Just last night, I saw some folks that were previous PIHRA members, or I saw them at a California HR conference, and we're always doing things together, either going hiking or having a glass of wine, or I just can't emphasize the community. It's priceless. So please get out there, particularly now after the pandemic. I know once I'm a little socially awkward, and two, I'm really isolated during the last 2 years. So I tell Rafael all the time, like, oh my gosh, I went to work at a WeWork type place, and I felt so much better, because it's not that I don't like people, it's that it's hard to get out of the house. So please set a goal for yourself, get out of the house, go to a networking event. If you want someone to be with you, call me or Rafael. We'll meet you there. We'll do something. We'll find someone to meet you there. So
yeah, if you're in Orange County and you want to meet up, give me an excuse. I'll meet you for coffee.
Yeah, coffee on Rafael. That'd be good. Okay, this is where you're going to become the HR expert, because I'm going to tell you about the webinars, free webinars for members this year. We have at least 2 a month right now. We've had up to 3 webinars. They're all free. That's like $300, $400 worth of value in the membership. And the membership's only $175. So this is where you're going to become the HR expert through the legal update. I'm going to try to hurry because I really want to get to there. And the California HR conference, the monthly or bi-monthly chapter meetings, the HR certification prep courses. So that's where you're going to get this. You're also going to save time and money with the PIHRA Workplace. That's powered through Mineral. It's formerly Think HR. Some of you may be familiar with Think HR. This is where you're going to have access to an award-winning compliance center. It has hundreds of forms. It has a job description builder, a salary analysis tool, hundreds of legal updates by state. Did I already mention the employee handbook builder, which is awesome? I mean, just that would cost you $500 to $1,000 on its own. You could add on this PIHRA Learn. Oh wait, I forgot to tell you. It also includes an HR hotline, which you can call between 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday Pacific time, and ask that burning question that you have. If you don't have your Fab 5 on your speed dial, call PIHRA Live, which is our HR hotline, and they are HR certified professionals answering the phone. They'll give you, they're not attorneys, by the way, but they will give you some guidance, and then usually follow up with an email with any documentation that would help. So, and then just real quickly last, the PIHRA Learn, you could add that. That's an enterprise-wide learning management system. So you could provide training for your employees, and our members get it at a discounted rate. It includes the mandated sexual harassment training, OSHA training, customer service training, and as an HR professional, you can manage that from this platform. So it's something that you may want to look into. I see something in the chat. Anything I need to pause for? Let's see.
Nope, we're just going to get Bridget some information about how to do cert prep with Richard.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about that in a moment. Let's keep going. This is the number to the PIHRA Live. So write that down. If you're a member, call them so you could test it out for yourself. I want to make sure you have access to just this PIHRA Workplace. If you were to pay for it on your own, it'd be at least $1,500. So just a great value. I want to make sure that you all know about it and can access it. If you have any trouble getting on this platform, just email me. Me and Elisette have access to the back end, so we can get you on there pretty quickly. Just a real quick spotlight to Umass Global. It's one of our academic partners. You and your family can be eligible for a scholarship if you want to go back to school, get your master's degree. Your child wants to get the undergraduate degree. So just know this exists. I talked about volunteerism and I think there's some information in the chat, and we will connect Angelina and Bridget to these volunteer opportunities. I just can't emphasize that enough. Our membership fees did go up, in case you haven't heard. I just wanted to remind everybody, this is a way we can continue to invest in PIHRA and in our community. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Okay, we got to the juicy part here, where most of you wanted to find out about our conferences and monthly meetings, etc. So we have virtual learning. And in a slide that's coming up, you're going to see a list of our in-person meetings and our webinars coming up. The California HR conference, I'm going to have Rafael talk a little bit about the employment law conference update that's coming up. And we have specialty programs such as the PIHRA #RealHR, which I am producing, and it's coming up in Thousand Oaks in September. Next month, I'll have more information about that. But the topic for that event is why are people leaving your organization with the Great Resignation and what to do about it. So we have a great panel coming up for that. Members get discounted rates. So if you're not a member, become a member. You get at least $15 off, and all of our webinars are free this year. Free webinars, like I said. Okay, I am going to pause because I would love, Rafael, please tell us about what's happening on October 19th. Really excited about this.
Well, I can give you insider news because this is not even public yet. I already have 3 out of the 9 sessions already filled. We will have Paul Fleck with AALRR. He's going to cover wage and hour. Eric DeWans from Michael Sullivan and Associates. He's going to do FMLA, SPHR, ADA. And Greg LeBate from Shepherd Mullen is going to tackle handbook building, separation agreements, and we're going to cover as a full curriculum everything that you need to know. The state legislature has until, I believe, September 1st to get those bills to the governor, and the governor has until October 1st to sign or veto or just let die. So having now our employment law update at this time frame, you get to hear the timely information and have a couple of months to prepare for any new changes that will begin the next year. All sessions will be live streamed. If you're looking to participate virtually, you will have a choice of choosing what session you want to attend. We'll have 2 sessions running, concurrent, and then they'll be available within 3 business days for you to consume on demand. So you can get your recertification credit if you are currently certified and need some additional hours. We're meeting in person, 1 location. In the past, we've actually done a 5-city roadshow, but since everyone's not ready to get back in person, we expect 300 to 400 attendees to join us in person and over 1,000 to still join us virtually. And then hopefully next year, we'll be doing more regions, and we'll get to see more of you in person. There'll be about 20 exhibitors if you need some new resources, whether that's looking for new HCM or a new brokerage firm. Those resources will be available, so you'll have an opportunity to interact with vendors directly. And also something else that we haven't announced is that we're working on bringing 4 legislators, California legislators, to have a town hall meeting during your plate at lunch. So this is going to be a unique type of event. If you like to hear from your elected officials, or you'd like to be able to ask questions or comments, then this is an opportunity to have some of you interact and participate.
Yes, I'm really excited about that piece. So if you're interested in government affairs and advocacy for your organizations or for your employees, that's going to be a unique sort of situation. And I'm really proud of our government advocacy team. So that's different than what we've done in the past. And I don't really think any legal update that I've been to or heard about has done something like that. We're going to be at the, in case I didn't hear it, but in case you want to know, we're going to be at the Burbank Airport Marriott. We've been there before in our roadshow, so we'll be there again. And what else do I want to say?
So
It's
you
going to
can
be very
you can
informative.
take a plane, a train, or automobile in order to get to that destination.
Yeah, or Uber or a Metro.
I guess the Uber, but that falls into the automobiles category.
Yeah, and I want to encourage you to register before August 31st because I think we're having a price increase after that. So, you know, if you're not the decision maker, talk to your supervisor. This is where you're going to learn how to mitigate any lawsuits coming up, whether it's related to wage and hour, like Rafael said, or there's PAGA stuff happening right now, or you know, COVID and OSHA regulations, or gosh, I don't really want to talk about it. God forbid you want to know about what's happening with monkeypox or whatever else is going on. This is we are very well known for this update, and if you are an employment law nerd, which I know some of our community is, or you want to specialize in employment law, you know, this is really important. And I think this makes you even more marketable as an HR professional. So I only have a couple more minutes left. I see something in the box. Okay, perfect. Yes. Register right away. And then I don't have a slide up about the California HR conference, but that is coming up in May. We're going to be in Long Beach again, which is my favorite place for the California HR conference. So that's something else you want to make sure it's in your training budget. And if you have any questions about the California HR conference, please let me know. That's like 2 days of, how many sessions are we planning? At least
So
50, right?
I believe that I have 36 sessions that will happen in person. 18 of those sessions will be live stream. And for those that have a different learning style than a lecture style, we will be introducing small group workshops to this year's event. That is not going to be live stream. Those are only going to be available in person, and they'll be for groups of 15 to 25, and we'll have 2 to 4 of those like hands-on small group sessions taking place. Registration for next year's conference will open up on October 19th, and I wish I could tell you some of the speakers that we're talking to and some of the entertainment that now I'm waiting to hear back with an
That's
offer.
what I'm really excited about.
I know.
I lead with the fun. Sorry, you guys. It's
of
very
course it's gonna be
educational, but
fun. We're gonna have a
fun.
lot of you know, in-person engagement activities. There's going to be live music, a lot of live music, some great food. So it's a fantastic event. We are expecting 90% attendance from 2019 to over 2,150 plus HR professionals to join us in person, and we'll continue to grow our virtual community that may not be able to join us again due to geography or budgets, but we are still there for you and we'll give you access to that content.
Yes, so start thinking about that for your training budget. It's one of the most affordable and valuable. I mean, you know, the value expense mix is, you're high on the value side with this conference. This year, next year, it's going to be a 2-day, two and a half day conference, perhaps, maybe with some receptions going on. Don't have the agenda with me, but please start thinking about your agenda for next year. Your training budget for next year, so that you can put us on there. Anyway, it's a great one. So HR certification. Some of you were interested in HR certification. I did just get certified, and I had the same fear as Rafael. I'm like, oh my gosh, Rafael has approved me to take this class. How about if I don't pass this test? So I spent, just to give you a sense, I'm not a great test taker. Some of you may be great test takers. I'm not one of them. So just so you know, the HR certification course, we have a fantastic instructor, but it's not enough. I approximate 150 hours taking classes, reading every inch of the SHRM learning system. I did do the SHRM certification. I really like the SHRM certification, SHRM learning, SHRM learning system. I thought I have the books as my reference, but it is not a joke. So if you think you're just going to get through it with the class, really think about this. You're going to want to invest some time because, I mean, not only was I going to be embarrassed if I didn't pass because my employer kind of sanctioned this for me, but I didn't want to have to pay for the exam again because I did have to pay for the exam. So, you know, really focus on this. I did it during the pandemic. I created my own study group. So that's another great reason to take our prep classes because you're going to meet people that are in the same situation as you are. So you can start your own study groups with them. So if you have additional questions about HR certification, please let's talk offline. But it is a serious commitment. I want you to be successful. You can be successful, but as Richard Dawson said, you're going to have to make the decision whether you want to go to the beach or go to that movie Friday night or study your flashcards or read your reference material. So just so you know, Bridget, I think it was Bridget that said she wanted to get her HR certification. Go for it, but really make the commitment. Unless, of course, you're like some folks who are just excellent test takers, and that's never the case for me. All right, I'm almost done. I got 2 minutes. So I did take up our time. Please make a commitment. Here's the list of events that we have going on. Today we had 2. I think they were both morning events. So here's PIHRA South Bay. They had a wonderful event this morning. Sorry, you might have missed that. Next week, PIHRA South OC is having an in-person meeting, helping create psychological safety. I think that's very important right now for all organizations. So check that out. I don't know, Rafael, if you're going to be there. I'm going to try to be at this PIHRA North OC event on August 18th. They're having an in-person meeting in Anaheim Hills. I think it's at the Embassy Suites with one of my favorite presenters, Jennifer Cassetta. And she talks about kind of motivational theory and you know, how to be a badass, which that's right up my alley. Hopefully it's right up your alley. I'll be there. I should be there. So please make it your goal that you attend a PIHRA event, or you know what, if you don't want to check out the PIHRA community, just check out a community. Yes, I'm the membership director. Yes, I want you to be a PIHRA member, but I want you to be successful in your career. And if PIHRA is not the place, I understand. Find another community, but at least check it out. Make a goal to attend one professional development event a quarter. I have to force myself to do that, and I schedule that. Or, you know, schedule a meeting with someone that you admire, someone that's a PIHRA member who you really think how they've done some really good work. Schedule a coffee with them. Schedule a coffee with Rafael. Just get out there. We can't do this alone. So that's what PIHRA is about, is being a part of a community, sharing yourself. Other people share about themselves. So hopefully that rings to you. That rings true to you. Connect with us online. We have a great LinkedIn community. How many people are in our group now? I think we have 20,000 company followers and 12,000 in our group. So is that about right, Rafael?
I think we have like 86,000 followers. I think there's more than 12,000 in our group. So definitely enough people to have a conversation with. Each of our chapters and groups has also their own LinkedIn group. So you can get, you know, smaller networking opportunities.
Yeah, and we're on Facebook and Instagram, not as much as LinkedIn, but you'll see some of our communities and chapters on Instagram as well. And I went a little over. Thank you so much for spending these 60 minutes with us. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to me, to reach out to Elisette, to find Rafael on LinkedIn, because he's really good with LinkedIn, and schedule some time to either have coffee with us or just a chat on the phone, anything. We are committed to making sure that you get what you need out of the PIHRA membership, but most importantly, out of your career and your life. because we want you to thrive. So thanks for joining. We're adjourned. We'll get these slides out to you right away and do all the follow-up that we promised in the next day or so. Thank you. Any last words, Rafael, before I end?
Thank you for being members of PIHRA, and we're here for you.
Bye-bye. Have a great rest of your week.